hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Glad you made it back here. Troy, what was that look on your face? You just...
That fade out was quite abrupt. Kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah, well, this thing is not an actual board. It's
that
very,
is a
very
little wonky there.
It's very difficult to get it to
I thought
work.
you were trying to save space, but yet you have the case on the...
Welcome back, Ely. Fucking missed
Bonus
you.
is that it gets to cover the same footprint as the old board when you put the case out.
Exactly.
So it's just like we never changed. It's kind of
just-
cool.
I'm so glad Ely's back.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
That took-
Less functionality, same space. Just remind me to grab the case and put it on the table.
Asshole. Oh,
He didn't even listen to last week's episode.
No, last week I was talking about how missed you were, and now I question if you were missed. I'm a little conflicted right now.
Okay.
Conflicted. Well, welcome.
Let me know at the end
It hurts so good.
or throughout the show.
I think that's my new plan, is to let you know how I'm feeling every step of the way.
Perfect.
So you get to deal with my emotions.
Yeah.
You should be psyched about that.
Yeah.
This will
It's been about
great.
15 years of that now. 20 years or so.
And you've seen some of the worst of them.
Oh, yeah.
I
They're
actually,
awesome.
I was out with a handful of friends this weekend that knew me for way too long. You forget the stories that people have about you from like a long time
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Man, they were coming out in force.
You
on
forget
me.
that you did the shit.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. I brain farted all of that. And, in fact, I brain farted you from existence.
Exactly.
Hey, how you been?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
That's right. I've done that a handful of times.
It's funny you say that. I had a buddy, a high school buddy, sending out pictures last night that he found that I haven't seen in 20 years, at least, maybe longer.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, we look like a bunch of fucking idiots in these pictures. And I just said, I was like, how did any woman ever talk to us? And there's proof right there that men do not top out at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like, we all look better than we did, even with the extra weight, even with the hair loss. God, we looked like idiots.
Right.
I mean, we looked really bad.
Speak for yourself. At my worst, I looked awesome. Like, I feel very confident about that. I'm pretty certain I do not look as good now. I think I'm going the other way. I'm trending, unfortunately, the wrong direction.
Well, I would say a lot of it was probably just the clothing choices and I guess being
That's
in
what I was
bed.
going to think. It's a lot of the age. Like
Yeah.
the shit you're wearing for the time frame. You make these stupid faces when you're in your 20s and you know what I mean with your boys. Dumb shit. You know what I mean? When you get older, you just like stand there and maybe smile halfway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're
I'll
always
show you,
doing
I'll
like,
show you a
You
picture
got your
of me.
crew. You got your arms out like, what up? Like a bunch of retards.
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean,
That's a normal picture.
What is this picture from?
It's
man?
just-
Can I get a whiff
that
of
picture
this?
is probably from freshman year of college. Like, I look like I'm wearing clothes I should be wearing today.
Yeah.
Like they're 3 sizes too big.
right. Like you guys
what
are
was-
already all dads.
What was I thinking?
Dude, you were a dad.
Yeah.
Like, you were meant to be a dad. Those pants.
Are you wearing the white New Balance Grillers in that picture?
I very well may have been. I'm pretty
Those are
sure
the
those were
best.
carpenter jeans, and that's probably a shirt from Structure.
Oh, those are
That is
clown
like-
jeans. Those
Yeah,
things
they're
are huge. I'm
Oh.
shocked at how big
Yeah,
jeans
what's up
were.
with the carpenter jeans? Like we need to hang a hammer from our fucking jeans.
There was a time where it was
oh,
all
I
you
know.
wore.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Right.
Got my screwdriver, got
Yeah.
my hammer.
Right.
I
Yes,
was never into that look. I never owned a pair of carpenter jeans. Now,
Oh.
I owned plenty of cargo shorts, which is
I
not-
still like cargo shorts. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah, that adds up.
I
That
don't-
adds up.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
Fresh
any
cut
fashion
jorts.
advice from you when you got beaded freaking bracelets on as we speak, dude.
Yeah, that shit's dope.
Yeah.
What are you fooling?
This guy
Whittled by a shaman.
Yeah, this one's all hemp. And this one's natural wood.
Mm-hmm.
See? I'm all natural, Troy. All natural. No steroids here.
You're something else, dude. I wish I had your confidence, that's for sure.
Yes. If there's one thing I do, I'm just headlong into whatever the hell I like.
That's right.
I
For
don't
sure.
care.
You
Driving
don't back
around in a
down.
Miata, but a pink shirt on and my bracelets.
Yeah.
Hair blowing.
Singing Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I don't sing Katy Perry. I let Katy Perry sing Katy
Right.
Perry. She's
Right.
phenomenal.
You're a firework.
You feel it.
Yes, exactly. You don't sing along with that. You just enjoy it.
Yeah, you would mess it up.
It was good. Did you see
The
Taylor?
voice of an angel.
Did you see drunk Taylor Swift?
I did
last
see that.
night?
No, I didn't. What's that?
It's someone put out a video of her like at a bar the night before like the Nickelodeon Awards or some shit.
Or the night after, one of the two.
And she was just partying it up
Oh,
and
yeah, it must
singing
have been
along.
before.
But like the amount of time she had to like sit back down and kind of like just obvious she was on something.
Yeah.
Honestly though, like I was watching it and I was like, I like her even more.
Yeah.
Because she's like the kind of drunk girl you want. Not
Yeah.
the kind of drunk girl.
Rich?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Very
still
attractive.
Right.
still just being very sweet and hanging out and not making a big scene out of everything.
Right.
Like just being kind of drunk. And I was like, that's how you are? Like
She looked normal to you, what you're saying?
she looked perfectly normal. Like my wife gets drunk and then decides now's a good time to tell me I'm a piece of shit I am.
Oh. Whoa. She doesn't do that during the week?
No.
She amps
Oh,
it
she
up.
hides it.
She amps it up when she's drunk.
She hides it during the week and then lets it all. It's like,
I never know which way in the spectrum she's going to go. I only get two options. It's either the woman who loves me more than the first day she found out she loved me, like she's all over me and like amazingly fun, or there's the other side of it where it's like, oh, shut up. That is the worst.
why are you even here?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, what percentage of women do you think are like sweet as opposed to me when they get drunk?
Well, what
That's
percentage
a great
of men?
question.
Like, what would you do? You have an answer for that for men?
Well, we
That's a
like
good
girls, so we're asking about girls first.
Yeah. I know you're worried about the dudes, and we'll get
Yeah.
around to that once we're done talking about the female species.
Hold that thought, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the same across the board. I think 30% of people suck when they're
I
drunk.
think it changes as you get older for men. Like, I
I
feel
think
like
that's a good guess.
most of us we're more aggressive drunks in our 20s than we are in our 40s.
Definitely.
That's a fact. I guess guys
Yeah.
get more mellow over time because the guys that I know that are aggressive, shitty drunks, now they're less often. They
Now the
still
me-
have it in them.
Now, the mean drunk girls, do you think they lessen with age, or do they amp up?
No, I think they just stay the same.
They say the same.
This is interesting because now I'm wondering if they just don't get as drunk, and that's why you don't see it as much.
Yeah, that could be. And when they finally do, it's like the Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. You guys are making me think too much.
They're the worst.
Yeah, it is interesting. I would say 30%.
Yeah, you get one of those mean drunk girls out unleashed, and that's a bad night for all involved.
That's the thing. I should probably scale it back because the reason I love my wife is that she's not as mean as some of the drunk girls that
Yeah.
I've come across. I had a very different bar she had to clear.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
very easy for her to clear that bar because the girl I was dating prior to her favorite trick was when we would get in arguments when she was drunk, she would start throwing shit at me, like throwing
Jeez.
shoes and throwing different things. And it's like, I can't win this argument because the way you're arguing now has nothing to do with words.
Yeah.
It's all physical. And if I get physical, then it's over. Like
Yeah.
I've lost permanently. So I had to just leave the relationship.
So the wife is basically trying to get under a limbo bar that's about 12 feet up. She doesn't even have to bend down.
yeah,
Like,
she just walked under
yeah.
it. She was like, so I run my mouth a little
Yeah,
bit.
So what? So I tell you suck. You don't get an alarm clock fucking at your head.
Yeah,
So,
sticks and
yeah.
shoes will break your bones. But words should never hurt
Yeah.
you wuss. So,
A wine bottle whizzing at your fucking head at 28 miles an hour.
I also had she had another trait that kind of messed me up, man, because she's a really good looking girl, for sure. Like, she was an attractive woman. And she would go off to work looking all fantastic, but she would get home before me because I had a longer commute. And she would come home and immediately change into sweats and then grab like a sack of raw potatoes and sit down on the couch and put on Roseanne. And she would sit there in her sweats
Raw
watching,
potatoes.
just biting into raw
God.
potatoes and then putting salt on the exposed white part of the potato and crunch, more salt,
I've
crunch.
never heard anyone eating raw potatoes like that.
It was the weirdest thing. And so every day I'd come home and here would be my lovely
Your
girlfriend, who was just all in sweat sitting on the couch eating raw potatoes, crunch, crunch. And I'd be like, I think I'm losing it for you. Like I don't think I'm as attracted to this, which is conflicting because as an Irishman,
Yeah.
you would think you'd be like, oh,
Raw
look at her
potatoes.
enjoying the harvest, But no, I'm like, what the fuck? There's a famine. Stop eating all the potatoes. She was.
Or it's just weird.
Well, and it grossed me out. So it's
Yeah.
like, then when she started throwing stuff, when she got angry, I was like, you know what? Between this and the potatoes and the fact that it was Roseanne, like she was idolizing that back talking wail of I was like, this is not going to end well.
And it didn't.
It did not end well. It did not end well.
You were
Spoiler
right.
alert.
Yeah.
I've seen
Did
her
not.
on Facebook though, and she obviously did not turn into Roseanne, at least from photos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like she's always had Roseanne's attitude. So
Yeah,
that's enough to.
she had a rotten soul. I found out after the fact all kinds of things about her. Like all of a sudden, people coming out of the woodwork, like, "Yeah, I fucked her." Like, what? When? Since
Whoa.
What are you talking about? So, not a great situation.
Good thing you got out of there when you did.
Yes. I don't even know why this came up. I just found a new
Thanks for sharing, though.
found a new punching bag for this episode.
Yeah.
I guess Angry Brendan's gonna live on through these episodes. It's rough.
Yeah.
Barely.
So what else did you do this weekend? You hung out with some friends. I kind of cut you off earlier.
This weekend was a little rough, actually. When was the last time you guys went tubing, like on a
It's
river?
Last year.
It's been 5 or 6
Okay.
years to do because you went to Scottsville, right?
Yeah, so
I've done that trip a few times, but it's been a while.
the tubing that I've done. We used to do it a lot on the Shenandoah, like up in Northern Virginia,
Yeah.
and up there it's a lot more laid back than down here. I was surprised by how this trip went down, but I used to love tubing, like in college all the time.
How is tubing not laid back? Can you lay that on me?
Yeah, so I was a little shocked myself.
Okay.
This had a distinct.
Chris Farley was the bus driver.
just sweating.
Yeah. We're going to go.
That-
I'll turn this bus around. Drive it off a goddamn cliff.
Fucking tubes bouncing around the back of it.
So, but it probably wasn't him because he's not doing much these days.
No, he's been
No.
MIA.
Okay.
I saw
Carry on with your story.
I saw the last photo of him. Have you ever seen that photo?
Oh, yeah.
No.
That looks like a peach.
Miserable
Yeah.
photo, dude. God.
Like when
His
he's
final
dead.
photo, yeah.
Like it's not the
After
last
he's
photo before
OD'd.
he
he's
keeled
like
over.
he's like I don't know if he's purple or blue, but it's somewhere in that spectrum.
Yeah.
And there's just foam everywhere, and it's just
not good.
bad looking. Yeah, that dude, sucks. But he was not the bus driver.
Okay.
But we did have a guy. Now that you say it, definitely in that vein. Except all of Chris Farley's aggression, you could see, was just beneath this guy's skin.
Okay.
Like he didn't want to get excited, so he just kind of stood up there, like with dead eyes, staring at us, like, "When you get to the island, make sure you go left. If you go right, you'll get stuck." Okay.
Yeah.
It's a dude who hates his job
For
'cause
sure.
he's
Yeah.
said it a million
Yeah.
times. He has to deal with drunkards like 14 times every
He's
Saturday.
contemplating sucking on a shotgun multiple times.
Exactly.
That-
Or the back of that bus.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How do I get a long enough hose
If you
to
need
drape
me-
it into my mouth?
Yes. You all signed your waivers, right? I'm going to bring this hose in.
Yeah. Don't mind the fog.
It'll be over before you know it.
It's just vape.
You'll be fine.
Just blowing clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was extremely depressed. So
How big a crew were you with?
there were 14 of us.
All dudes?
No.
Like wives too?
There was I was with our Joe Rogan.
Okay.
So it was with him and then his son, and his son is like, we've all seen Joe Rogan. That's like a big dude for a dude in
Yeah.
his 50s. Well, his son's like in his 20s and still in special forces. Now that's a big dude.
Yeah.
My God, I felt fairly inadequate. Like I rolled up, I was like, okay, I'm going to stand over here next to your skinny friend. 'Cause what the fuck? That dude was yoked. But yeah, so we had like a big old crew, but then, a lot of like younger girls that came along with them.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that worked out well. So I was kind
And
of
you didn't have the wife with you?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Sharing tubes.
Shared all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
No, didn't do shit. It was like I was the driver, so I had to stay relatively sober. You don't want to.
They just lured you into. That's why they
Yeah.
invited this.
I was
going
to
to
say
Yeah.
when you said you were with Joe Rogan, I was like, how did you get the invite to that?
We need
That's
a
kinda
driver.
Weird. Yeah.
Call that shit Bert Kennedy.
I drove the Miata, so not many people were getting a ride with me.
Oh, I thought you said you were the driver.
I was the driver of the Miata,
Oh,
so like,
Oh, because you weren't saying the night
mean,
up
you were
there. You
driving.
were coming back.
yeah, I just drove there.
I
So I
gotcha.
had to I had to pace myself. I had I had the cooler with 4 beers in it, and then
Well, next time you
Like-
talk to Joe Rogan, tell him, Ely and I greatly appreciate the invite.
we know how to tube.
Yeah.
sorry guys, it was I don't know. I got the invite, and I was like, yeah, that sounds all right.
Well, I haven't heard about this trip. Apparently, it sucked
Yeah.
ass. So lay it on us.
Yeah.
no, it didn't. So I was in.
That's
I
what you
was
said.
You said
I
it
said it
sucked
was
ass
more-
before the
that's
mics were on.
putting words
Yeah.
in my mouth.
All right.
You know, we both heard it.
Right. That was before? I thought it was on the air.
It might have been on the air.
Okay.
He'll say it again.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Anyway,
Would you
guys are
please-
ruining the story.
Get to it. Jesus.
So we
Keeping
went
this guy
out
on
there.
track's a bear.
You went tubing. You didn't get drunk. So let's hear how fun it was.
Yeah.
It was plenty fun. But what I
People
didn't,
you didn't know. Continue.
yeah, when you guys tell the story, it sucks. I had a blast out there. So went out there with my boy Matt. We drove out together because you don't want to be in the Miata solo. You want another dude next to
Yeah.
you at all times.
For sure.
That's
So
exactly what you need.
head on out
Yeah.
there.
Everybody in
In
this
fact,
area.
it's illegal to drive it solo.
Everybody in this area sees Brendan with a different dude in that Miata. And just
Yeah.
thinks,
Well, he's trying to
that
rope in
gay
different
guy
dudes.
is the most promiscuous dude.
Yeah. A different gentleman caller every week.
I can't agree with his lifestyle, but I'll tell you, that dude is good at what he does.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
And he covers some range.
Right.
I've seen him all over this state with a different dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love the Miata. I got a lot of friends.
All these dudes in Miatas. And have you gotten a handy yet?
No, it's surprising how straight most of these guys
That
are.
is weird.
Yeah, it's been.
What goes
Maybe
on
you're
in a
not
Miata
asking
you
right.
don't hear about.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my offers come in lifts. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it at all. But so we went down to the James River Runners. Have any of y'all ever done that in Scottsville?
Yes.
Which for our Northern Virginia folk and for the Richmond folk, that's like probably equidistance between
Yeah.
the two of them. To
you
get
go,
out.
you pay them, they take you in a bus up with the tube and drop you off, and you get out right where you started.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done these up in Front Royal using the Front Royal Canoe Company a lot.
Yeah.
And usually you get dropped off with like your crew, and that's basically about it.
Yeah.
They were running shuttle after shuttle
Oh, yeah.
all day long. And I'm talking flotillas of
Yep.
drunk people, like hundreds and hundreds of people out on the water at a time. And that's why I was saying it was different, because in Front Royal, you're typically like with your crew. And if you pass some other kayakers or another group of tubers, it's kind of rare. Like you just doesn't happen often, you know. In this, there was always shit tons of people on the river.
Yeah, you can look
everywhere
up and
you
down the
looked.
river and just see people everywhere.
Yeah, flotillas of like kids with parents, and then just shit tons of drunk people tied together,
Yep.
and then everyone pulling over on like the little tiny sandy shores that there are, or rocky shores that there are. And I'm talking no joke, at times 200 plus people on a beach, music
Posting
going,
up.
just partying. I mean, I was blown away, and that's what I mean by it wasn't quite as like laid back, because like people were coming up on you all the time, like, "What's up, friends? You want to be friends?" And like girls hollering and guys hollering at girls. I mean, it was wild. And we got to one spot where there's like a big rock in the center of it that people can jump off of, and drunk people falling off the rocks and stuff. I was like, damn, someone's gonna die out here. I mean, it was crazy. It honestly, it felt closer to PPP than a tubing trip, and that's what shocked me. The sheer amount of people.
Well, you probably just had the perfect mix of like time of year, weather was good, river was good height, like
That's what I'm wondering.
it all
like,
came together. Because
did
I've
it-
been out there when it's not that crowded.
okay, because like we tried to go, and they were like, "Yeah, the only
Like
shuttle."
mid-January, it's really chill.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, like we called up a few days in advance, and they were like, "Yeah, 10:30 is the only shuttle we can get you on," and they probably had 3 shuttles going out at 10:30, like full buses.
Yeah.
So it was pretty packed. That place is a gold mine if they're doing business like that. at
Yeah, but it's when they're
$25
doing
a
it.
tube.
I mean, it's
3 months.
not all season, and it's not Wednesday. You know.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, how many people are really out there during the week? I mean,
Probably next to none.
Yeah, a few.
so the weekends, I would recommend it though. Like if you're looking to go to a party, my
We used to
God.
camp. We used to tent camp directly across the river from James River Runners, and it was awesome because you would get out there and kick them your tube, and then just walk to your campsite.
Yeah, see, that's perfect.
Yeah.
No, it was a blast, and people get out there, and it's like it's spring break all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
Like you're only away for 3 hours. I don't know what the hell you're trying to accomplish, but it's all of a sudden like all inhibitions are gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's just getting absolutely tore
Wasted.
up. There was this one guy on the trip. He's out at Fort Bragg, or now he's at Fort Lee. Sorry, but he was at Fort Bragg, and he was out there with us. And this dude was on a mission, and was like, as soon as we got there, he was like, "I'm 6 beers deep," and I was like, "It's 10:30 in the morning.
Nice.
Like, what the hell are we doing here?" And he just kept going all day long. And then, like, his beer ran out. He's in everyone else's cooler getting after it. Finally, at one point, he's like, "I am starving." And we've got this biscuit floating in the bottom of a cooler.
Ugh.
Just the soggiest biscuit ever. And we're like, "We got a big old soggy biscuit." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe I'll take that. Yeah, you know what? Let me get that." And then right before he takes it, he's like, "Hey, man, is that a dip?" To another one of the guys. He's like, "Yeah, man, you want a dip?" This dude takes the biggest big poppy dip you've ever seen, slaps that shit in his lip, can't keep it in his lip, so it's all over his face.
This is awesome.
He's got the damn dip spit drooling down the side of his
Oh, this
mouth,
guy's
all over
killing
his
it.
chest as
Right.
he's laying there in his tube. Like, "Let me get that soggy biscuit." I'm like, "Done, buddy.
For
I can't
sure.
wait to see this."
Let me get my camera.
Yeah. So we grab this soggy ass biscuit and hand it to him, and he bites in, and that first gush of river water and sausage and biscuit just juices him in the mouth. And oh my God, the dip spit just tripled. And it was just pouring out of his mouth with all the soggy biscuit.
I'm sorry, I just missed this part. Like, fuck the trip. I
Yeah.
wanted to see this.
It was my favorite part of
Yeah.
the day, watching him try to navigate the rapids while eating this biscuit and this dip. And then all of a sudden he's like, and he's just puking soggy biscuit.
Yeah.
I was
into-
gonna ask, did he finally lose the game?
He didn't it wasn't like a deep throw up. It was
Yeah.
like just what was going down.
Yeah.
Started
Yeah.
coming up, and you just see soggy biscuit and dip, and he's trying to spit it into the cup. Like there's a whole river, and he's like, and it's just pouring in.
Because he wants to save it. He wants to be able to eat it again.
I guess, man. It was
Stir
just
it up,
Right.
was
throw it back.
Can't waste the biscuit.
No.
brown
Or the
biscuit
dip.
pouring
Right.
out of his mouth, and he just kept going back to the well. Like,
Wow.
no matter
This dude's
what,
a hero,
he'd be
dude.
Yeah.
like, "I gotta eat this." He'd keep eating. I'm like, "Take out the fucking dip," but you can't talk to him because he's in a very different state of mind. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a young 20-something-year-old Army guy who's got 3 days to get after it before he's got to get back to base, and he's gonna make the most of it.
Right.
And my God, but that dip was the grossest dip I've ever seen.
Dude, it's making my mouth like water. Like I might puke just hearing about it.
Yeah.
It was
Biscuits
pretty-
sound good, though.
I mean, the biscuit alone, a river water soaked biscuit, is already the most disgusting thing. To throw in a giant gnaw on top of it, just
When you have that many people out in that amount of water that frequently, like all that urine has to change the ecosystem, right? I mean, that's a lot of urine flowing
Nah.
through that
parts
one
per
part
million.
And fish are shitting in.
That's-
I understand they shit in it.
yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That is a
it's all
lot
good.
of pee.
He was the kind of guy that didn't even go in the tube to pee. Like he would be completely out of the water just peeing. I'm like, what the hell is this? At one point, we were standing on the shore,
Like
and
a rookie tuber, you're saying?
yeah, like you flush, you put yourself down in the
Yeah.
water and kind of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
bounce up and down, flush that shit out. There was one time we're standing on the shoreline, you look over and he's peeing. Like, just pee over there or in the water, but nope,
Yeah.
it's just running down his leg. Like this guy is having a blast.
Yeah,
Like,
he is.
He's just doing whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
Yeah, he's.
Did he have a My First Tubing Trip shirt on?
Right.
I mean, good gracious.
Floaties.
I didn't mind the guy at all. He kept coming over and putting his foot on like my cooler tube. And he's like, bro tube, yeah, bro tube.
What?
I'm just like, yeah, bro tube.
You're making this dude up.
I am
Yeah,
not.
I feel like you are.
I'm not.
Yeah.
This guy is an American hero.
Oh my God.
He's something else.
What's crazy is he was us
Absolutely.
15, 20
Yeah.
years ago.
There's no doubt. I'm watching that dip
You
spit
got a tear
run
in your
down
eye,
his
you're like,
face. Yeah,
You
I
remind
know,
me,
buddy. I know.
I know exactly where you are.
right.
man.
You remind me of
It
a
is
young
bro
me.
tube. You're
No,
right.
there was a little part of me that's like, yeah, you damn right it's bro tube, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's like every time he'd like get lost in the distance, like, get back to bro tube, bro tube,
Right.
bro tube. He'd come swimming
And
back.
you're like, that guy's got no worries at all.
He's going to be just fine.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
He's gonna make it.
He's gonna
Yeah. His wife talks shit. He drowns her.
He's already divorced.
Yeah.
The dude's like 22 years old. And he was like talking about, oh yeah, fuck that bitch, got rid of her.
Yeah.
Like that didn't work out. Not what I wanted, as he put it.
Well,
She wasn't ready for that army lifestyle. She
Right.
couldn't handle me. I was like, respect, bro. I'm not even mad at you. Bro tube, have another beer.
Bro tube.
well, after hearing about him putting a big dip in and eating a soggy biscuit, we know he doesn't make good life choices. So,
Yeah. Can we get him on the show?
yes.
Yes, because he's right here at Fort Lee.
Nice.
I've got his name.
We need bro tube.
Yeah, I think we could arrange for him to come on the show. He'd be
Okay.
Now, we can't let him know about the show until next week. I don't want him hearing how I describe his in all his glory.
Bro tube would laugh at that shit.
That should be his name, Bro Tube.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's a perfect name.
BT. Could it be anything else?
Yeah.
He's got a real name, but
Yeah, bro tube.
Right.
We know it.
no, it was Adrian of all names.
Oh.
And of course, so then you get like the older girls yelling Adrian the whole time.
Yeah, they were.
And I'm just like, come on. Like
I would have
he's-
rolled my eyes at that one.
Oh, it started immediately. The first time he introduced himself, one of the girls, Adrian! And then she's like, I bet you never heard that. He's like, literally every day.
Yeah, of my life.
Yeah, but
Speaking of weird names, a mutual friend of ours has a friend that I met, and he named his son
that
Maverick.
checks out.
Mav?
Maverick.
You think he calls him Mav all the time?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Is
Because that's what Goose would do, right?
Is that a cool,
Yeah, that's
appropriate
cool.
name?
Yes.
I feel like
I
that's
guess.
a douchey name,
It is a douchey name, but all awesome names are douchey. It's an awesome name.
like Brendan.
No, that's just fucking classy.
That's classic.
Yeah, no, I'm standing by that. That's a good name. But Maverick's cool.
I don't know, man.
Oh, what's your take? You think-
Maverick?
Yeah.
It's not my flavor, but I mean, I named my kid Atlas, so I'm into the weird new names.
Yeah, that's a strong
But I
name.
feel like Maverick's just not my flavor.
Atlas is far less douchey, but still just as strong.
It's yeah, but I'm saying as far as it being left field.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I mean, my youngest son has a weird name too, but like Maverick is, there's no other connotation, right? Like it's,
oh yeah,
Top
it's
Gun.
a Top Gun reference.
yeah, that's all
It's
there
funny
is
you
to
mentioned
it.
that because me and the wife got into argument about that when we were picking names, and
Uh-huh.
I would do that all the time. She would like the name Beck, and I'm like, except there's only one. Every time someone thinks of that kid's name, it's like, oh, like the singer,
Yeah,
Beck.
2 turntables and a
Right.
microphone.
Yeah, there's no other.
There's no other connotation.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be stuck to whatever the fuck this one person was. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
and
You
then if
name
you
a
have
girl-
another son, you got to name him Goose, right?
Yeah, I would.
Ugh. Well, you know which one you love more.
Right.
Jeez.
Or Iceman, and
Yeah.
they just hate each other all the time.
I did see a meme that was like, you know who's not going to be in the remake?
I saw one that was like Weekend at Goose's, and it had
Oh,
Maverick
really?
and Iceman
That's
walking
awesome.
around.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking
Yeah.
great. Like, I like that a lot.
Is Val Kilmer going to be in the new one?
Yes, I heard he is, but I heard
Nice.
Kelly McInnes is not.
Shocker.
Yeah.
She's so busy with other work.
What are they going to Photoshop? I mean, how are they going to? They're going to just have to CGI.
They're going to
Val
get a
Kilmer.
cooler chick. That's
Yeah.
what they're going to do.
No, I'm saying for Val Kilmer, like that dude looks bloated.
Oh, maybe if I don't know. Maybe he'll cut down.
Maybe he'll be a
Maybe.
drunk, bloated.
If he
like,
does and his uniform's all tight,
homeless
that would be
dude.
awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
God, button
Right.
popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dude that did not age well. Like
Yeah.
because he was shredded in Top Gun, and now he just looks like he's been at a salt lick for 20 years, just retaining water.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
He's let it. He could die today, and he's already done enough. He's had a good life.
I'll give you that. So, are you guys going to see that Top Gun reboot?
Yeah, when it comes onto Netflix
Yeah.
Yes, you're not going to seek it out in the theater.
or the theater.
I knew you were going to make a comment.
Yeah.
You just can't let it go because
The theater.
It's that's how you
Is that the
pronounce
live action
Yeah.
version? The stage
The
rendition.
theater. Fucking needle dick.
it. These guys going to see Top Gun redo on
With his
Broadway.
top hat.
I said good day.
Yeah.
That is appropriate.
See you chaps at the theater next weekend.
Shows what you guys know. No one wears top hats
Are
at
we gonna
theaters
go-
anymore.
Right.
We're gonna go watch the flick at the Nickelodeon.
Right. A dude that owns a Miata does say theater. For sure. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I think
You are the guy,
that's the
dude.
proper
pass the test.
pronunciation.
Yeah. Right. In England.
His monocle
Along
just
with
fell out.
fucked up jibs and fucked up
Zoinks.
weather. Yeah.
No, that's the proper pronunciation. It's good to have you back, Ely. I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, it's really I missed you. Last week I was really hoping you'd come back. Now
Yeah.
now I
Question
remember.
your.
Just questioning everything at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, you should. Like the pronunciation of
Diamond
theater.
weird.
It's the one thing that I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about because that's how you say it.
Can
Theater.
we really?
I'm
stop?
curious though. Like, does your folks said that to you growing up, or they talk normal and you were like, "No, folks, no, parents, it's theater."
No, I believe that. I believe at least my mom must say theater. Maybe my dad.
Really?
Yeah,
Don't
why
you
not?
dare warn them because I'm bringing this up next time I see them.
Just be like, when's the last time you went to the movies? What's it called? The
Yeah,
movie?
that place with the popcorns and the goofy shit.
Like you're playing charades.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. Can you organize a game of charades?
I
Eli's
could
like,
arrange for this.
Mr. Kenny, good to see you. Then he just goes
Yeah.
right into the spiel.
2 words.
Sounds like
Shuvy shader.
No, you see, you're leading him. You can't say shader.
Okay.
You got to say shader.
Okay. Fair enough.
he just like types it out on his phone. He's like, could you read this for me?
Right.
What's wrong with Eli? You can't fucking read.
Yeah.
I would be interested to hear if they say it that way.
Me too.
Because if they don't, then I got to reconsider everything because I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I always thought they were smart.
Yeah.
We should just get Jason Jones to go back and listen to the last 4 years of shows and find my dad saying theater. It's had to have happened.
Doubtful.
They're
Or we could just ask them.
we all thought as a kid you thought all adults were so smart, didn't you?
Yes. They were all.
It's amazing.
You thought
how
they were
that works.
superheroes when you were really tiny.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's
You get a
amazing
little older,
how
you
that
just were like,
works.
these motherfuckers are smart as shit. And then you get even older and you're like, there's some retards out there.
Yeah,
They aren't smart.
real dumb motherfuckers running
Yeah.
around.
Right.
It is funny how that works because the other day I finally had that realization. I was like, man, my kids think I know everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like, wait a minute, my parents didn't know anything.
Oh,
It finally hits you. You know, everyone's just making it up as they go along. It's like, well, what do you do in this situation? Well, last time I did this and it went poorly, so we're going to try a different angle. We'll just keep doing it until we figure it
Yeah.
out.
I would love when Jacob would say something like, we'd be talking about Pickett, you know, UFC fighter, hockey player, and he's like, but he's not better than you, right, Dad? And you're like,
Obviously.
right, exactly, yeah.
Because you see all the hockey I'm playing.
That's
so
right, ripping it up. You know what I mean?
I'm out here just
Yeah.
skating circles around
Just
pools.
didn't grasp like the amount, like the commitment to a sport. None of that. It's like, but I've seen you with it. You're pretty dope with a hockey stick. You know what I mean, you wrestle my ass like a motherfucker. You gotta be sickening.
Yeah,
Why aren't you on TV?
I chose to raise you, son.
Yeah,
I chose to raise you.
I put
I
up
gave
my
up-
yeah.
I gave up all of those pro sports I could have done.
Exactly. Every one of them.
Every one.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's one thing I hated, it was women and money.
Right.
So I decided to stay home with your mom and
Exactly.
raise you.
Yeah.
Who wants fame and fortune? I've got you.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, my girls came home the other day. They were talking about some guy that, like, some kid was talking about how their dad could beat up any dad.
Oh yeah, that old
old trick.
And they were like, yeah, so and so's dad can beat you up, and I was like, whoa. I would kick that dude's ass. Like, let's
Right.
get that straight. Like, I am so much stronger than that guy. And then the next time they came home, they were like, yeah, I told him you would mess him
Yeah.
up. And I'm like, good.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
all you have to do is tell them. They're
Yes.
like,
Oh,
fair. Okay.
Right.
Facts are facts.
right. My dad said.
I don't
That's
know.
all it took. I
You've
didn't
got-
have to prove anything.
You've
Yeah.
got two little girls. Their mouse might write some checks that you might have to cash in at some point.
Yeah.
You'll be at like parent-teacher conference. Dad, that's the guy, and they point to the 6'8", fucking 300-pound
Right,
dude.
linebacker.
That's the guy you said you could kick the shit out of.
And I meant it.
Yeah. And I would stand by that.
For
stuff.
sure.
Go
Yeah.
over there. Meet me outside next to the cop.
Kid, go home with your mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to end this dude. Hey, bro, you want to get a beer? I feel like there's been a misunderstanding.
Right. Yeah. I feel threatened.
Yeah. Go talk to the teacher.
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
No, you go talk to the 5th grade with the orange belt on.
Yeah.
You're like, excuse
Safety
me.
patrol.
Yeah.
Hey, kid, let me say these magic words to you. I feel threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Blows
gonna-
his whistle.
Yeah.
It's a real silent one.
I'm going to need you to get between me and this dude when we
Exactly.
start throwing haymakers.
We
Right.
got a code blue over here. He feels threatened.
Right.
Hey, kid, I'm going to come out of nowhere and blindside this guy one time. Then I'm going to need you to break it up.
Yeah. Clear me a path 'cause I'm about to be sprinting.
Hey, you ready, Robbie? I'm going to need you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't funny. I don't get it. I don't get
Yeah.
Your girls are just watching you take a beating, and they're just like, Dad,
He's
when
going to beat him any time now.
when are you going to start winning, Dad?
Right.
Stop holding back.
Right. Trying to teach you girls a lesson.
It's the Jedi way.
That's right. I'm a pacifist, bro.
It's the Jedi way, girls. Just remember
Yeah.
that.
I could mop the floor with this guy.
I'm letting him win to help his
JC's not
self-esteem.
into that.
Yeah. I just thought, what would Jesus do? And he kicked me in the
That's right.
teeth. And I was just like, yep, I'm nailing it.
Yeah.
I've done it again.
Right.
Well, girls, I hope you learned a valuable lesson today. Your dad could have kicked that guy's ass, but chose not to. That's
We
called
call that
self-control.
the high road.
Yeah, it's called being the bigger man.
Yeah.
Look how big I am. Call me an ambulance. I think I'm bleeding internally.
Right.
My boys started watching this awesome show on the History Channel called The Strongest Man in History. And
Yeah.
it's these 4 strong men. They go around
Yeah.
and do the...
Brian Shaw.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like... Obviously, they don't think I'm the strongest guy around anymore.
Right.
Like, these 4 dudes are freaking amazing, dude.
I saw a cool video of Brian Shaw going into like Planet Fitness. And so he
Doing
sits on
what?
because you know how like Planet Fitness has like the no screaming thing
I was
or
about to say,
whatever.
and it's
Yeah,
the,
yeah, the
no judgment
No
zone.
judgment, no meatheads or whatever. So he goes in there.
Oh, where he
with a
was
couple
like
of his
stacking
buddies.
all the weights.
Oh, like pin in the bottom, repping them like I rep 2 plates. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, he can barely squeeze into the machines because he's so gigantic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It looks like he's handling tiny equipment. You know what I'm saying? You're like, holy fuck.
Those dudes like just warming up. You're like,
That's one of those dudes where it's like you used to always do that thing where back in the day where you're like, well, what if you had to fight Shaq? And you're like, oh, well, I'm just kicking him in the nuts as hard as I
Yeah.
can. He's one of those dudes that are at that level where you're like, I got nothing here other than I'm going for a fucking 50-yard field goal square in your
Yeah, like this
Yeah.
is about to get dirty
And-
Right.
immediately.
trying to-
instantly.
and
Like, I'm
then stay
biting
away
ears.
from him.
Yeah, and then if
Like-
it connects, then I start talking shit.
Or running.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that show, check it out. It's freaking awesome, man. They do some.
I have
crazy
heard it was
feats.
pretty
It's
cool.
the strongest man in history.
Yeah, so what they do is they travel to different cities and countries, and they'll take a historic strongman and try to replicate their feats that they did back in the day, and then beat them. They
With-
ended up beating
With like
them a lot.
modern day strongmen.
No, like old strongmen, like historic strongmen. They were in
Interesting.
Scotland or somewhere. And they had these 2 stones. One was like 300 and some pounds, and one was 400 and some pounds. And they had these handles that were screwed into them. They've been around for hundreds of years. And this one guy like famously carried them like 6 feet across this bridge. And the other 3 guys tried to do it. And just picking them up, you get your name in the record book. They all picked them up, and they got a couple steps, but none of them beat the like 6 or 8 feet mark. Then Brian Shaw, he's the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
He picked him up and set a new world record. Like, just walked
That
right
dude's
past that
insane.
dude's line.
He's like 6'8".
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a monster.
that's fucking nuts.
And then you watch him eat.
oh,
Dude, they have to eat so much, 10,000 calories a day, just to maintain their
I
weight.
could do that.
Yeah.
Challenge
Yeah,
accepted.
that's right. The problem is eating with like good things.
Yeah.
That's hella chicken breast and rice. I could do it with Chipotle and Mickey D's.
They got
Yeah,
Brian.
you could get me to I can get to
Yeah.
10,000 calories without even breaking a sweat.
well, that's like C.T. Fletcher. Remember, I don't know if C.T. Fletcher, I guess he's had like 3 heart attacks.
Uh-huh.
He said that he used to go eat like at lunch like 4 Big Macs, 6 things of fries, and 3 milkshakes every fucking day for like 15 years.
Dude,
because
that
nobody
is
ever
crazy.
told him when he was young. He's like, no one ever told me that shit was bad. They were just
Yeah.
like, you need calories and you need to eat. So he just went there and threw the fuck down every day.
I'd like to add that up. That might be like 5,000
yeah.
calories right there.
It's sickening.
Oh, you can do 10,000 calories. Like it adds up real quick if you're eating crappy food.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got Brian Shaw. They showed a clip of him in his hotel room. He goes, every time I leave my house, it costs me thousands of dollars. He goes, I have to ship all this food to where I'm going because I have this diet that I have to maintain, and I have to eat this
That's
much
insane.
every couple hours.
But it's healthy food, right?
Yeah. A lot of chicken and rice, basically, is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck that.
That's a lot of chicken and rice to get to that calorie.
for sure. Tons. Yeah. So I could get there. Give me some sour cream and guac. I can get there.
That's what I'm
Cheese.
saying.
Yeah.
Like I can get there
Just
real
chicken and
fast.
rice?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's like a whole village of Asians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Like they'd starve for a couple days because you got to eat,
For sure.
dude. I did try something this weekend. I thought of you guys because my wife still does all that keto shit. You know, like
Yeah.
you're done with that.
Yes.
Okay.
For the last month, I've been done with it. But I
Yeah,
need to
this
get
has
back
been
on
the summer
train.
of Troy. Like, I've been
Yeah.
straight just crushing beers and
I'm
eating what I
just a
want this
fat
summer.
Fuck, man.
Well, I finally tried. So Blaze Pizza has the new keto crust pizza,
Okay.
and basically what they do
Is
is
it like fathead, like cheese?
they make it with eggs and cheese and then like whey casein,
Okay.
and it's got 6 grams of carbs in a
Okay.
whole
Yeah,
crust,
yeah.
and it's like 70 calories for the whole crust. Like there's nothing to it.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to try this thing. It honestly was not as bad as I expected it
Really?
to be. Like you could order that pizza and be okay with it,
Really?
especially if you're putting, all the toppings you want on it,
Mhm.
kind of doing your thing. I immediately, I bit into it and I stole a piece from my girls and was like, I got to see something. And tried, and I was like, yeah, that is clearly better.
Right.
This is tolerable.
This will do.
Like
right.
this will do.
Well, pizza, if you do a good thin crust, like, and you put the right toppings on it, that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but this thing is doable. Like I would recommend
right.
it to anyone who's doing
I'm
the
gonna try it
keto
out.
thing. I mean, you're not going to be blown away, but
See,
you're going to
look,
be blown
here's the
away
thing.
in reference.
We've talked
to what
about
it
this
is.
before too, and what you just said is the key thing. I meet so many people that are like, "I can't eat that because it's gross." I'm like, I understand that regular spaghetti is better, motherfucker. I'm
Yeah.
saying like, if you live in a world where you can't eat regular spaghetti, and it's either this or broccoli every day, this shit's amazing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like you got to put it in perspective. Like,
But
I
the
get
problem
that all
is
the
you go
amazing
out to
things.
a place like Mod Pizza or Blaze or whatever, or like when I go to Qdoba, it's like the fucking wheat thing is right there, and the white one's there.
Right.
I'm getting the white one.
Oh, yeah.
But I will gladly eat the wheat. But if I'm looking at both of them, I'm like, I'm getting the fucking white one because
Yeah.
it's delicious.
Right. That's
And
just
by the way,
it works.
they have the Impossible meat at Qdoba now. And
I'm dying to try. I actually, as soon as those
Why
Whoppers
would you
happen-
try that?
Why would I? Exactly. That's what I said. I asked the guy. He's like, it's actually not that bad. I said, yeah, but you still have chicken and steak and shit right here, so I'll just stick with that. So,
Why do you want to try that?
I just want to know how close it tastes to meat, not because I care about the animals
I got you.
or the.
yeah, I'm curious to see how it tastes.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Because Burger King's doing the Whopper now.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them like in the wild yet.
Uh-huh.
Because as soon as I do, I'm bringing 3 of them in here and we're eating them.
Really?
Yeah, you don't want to take a bite.
No.
You don't even want to. It's not even curious.
No.
Man, I'm mad curious.
Really?
Not that the thing is though, what would you do if you found out it was just as good? Like literally just as good. I'd still get the Whopper.
It could never be.
But if it was,
I've had this discussion. I think we talked about it in here. There's a mental block on that shit for me. even
I
if it's
agree.
just as good, if not better, my mind would tell me that something's wrong with it. As weird as that is.
No, that adds up.
I told you I went to the vegan restaurant. I was eating chicken salad, and if no one would have told me it was chicken salad, I'd be like, "This is a cool chicken salad sandwich." But because I knew that it was made of fake shit, I was in my
Grossed out.
brain. I was like, "This I can't eat this."
Yeah.
There's no logic to it.
No, it's just a mental block.
Right.
I mean, I get that. I have to know.
Yeah. I don't know that I have to know.
Well, I'm gonna bring it in here one day.
Okay.
You're gonna eat it. I'll tell you it's a regular Whopper.
That's cool. I have no problem with that.
There you go.
Just happen to bring these 3 Whoppers in tonight,
Yeah, that's
guys.
right. Yeah, because I bring Whoppers all the time.
Yeah.
Standard procedure, guys.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm the Whopper guy.
Yeah.
Is it a green patty or something?
It's supposed to look just like meat.
Really?
That's that's what always gets me is like they're like, it tastes just like meat. It bleeds like meat. It looks and smells. I'm like, so you're saying you like meat?
right.
Like, I'm confused with this whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm dying to try it, but I would recommend you try that because it's like if you're gonna compare like zucchini noodles to pasta, not even close, right? Like
Yeah.
pasta's light years
Not
better.
at all.
But this was in the ballpark of pizza. I was like, hey, I'm eating pizza.
That's cool.
It's not the best pizza I've ever had, but toppings
I
are
tried
great.
spaghetti squash, and that shit made me want to puke. I did not
Yeah.
like it. I wanted to.
It fills my stomach. That's all it's there to do.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing. I left full.
Yeah. So I've heard a lot about those cheese-based crusts. They're super filling.
Yeah, like I was having a hard time eating the kids' pizza after.
Yeah.
I,
That's how I am.
I still did.
Right.
I got them down, but I left like I probably ate too much, and I was
think
not
that's where the
expecting
dad bod
that
comes from.
because we have
not-
to eat all the kids' food.
Yeah, not throwing away all the kids' food, like finishing off. Like
I agree.
I hate throwing away any food, so I'm gonna finish it off.
That happens every night at dinner.
Yeah.
There's like another serving sitting there on the stove, and I'm like, well, come on, guys. If no one's gonna eat it, I'll eat it. They're always like, we'll eat it tomorrow. Like bullshit. Then we end up putting it in the fridge, and I throw it out in 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
I throw away so much food.
That is the quintessential first world
I
problem.
had a buddy that had a wife, and they're still married. I don't know. I don't know if she still does this. We went out to dinner once, and they were like, she didn't eat it all because she ate like a bird, and was like, came around. They're like, you want a box? She's like, no, I don't take leftovers home. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, leftovers are gross.
Oh, that's
I've met people like that.
I was like, oh, that drives me insane.
yeah, that's crazy to me. Dude, we got to try one of those delis. I realized we're like 40. We're behind schedule. 47 minutes.
Which
in.
one we doing?
Let's do that Licking Hole Creek. I'm dying to try it.
Was that the one you brought?
Yeah.
And isn't saying that you don't take leftovers home part of the problem?
Yes, probably.
Right. Just be like, no thanks, I'm okay. I don't need a box.
Yeah, I think if you have a standing rule that you don't take leftovers home, I probably don't like you. There's something about you.
Right, but
that's-
you would never know that if I didn't say it.
No, if you just said, no, I'm good, then it doesn't
Right,
matter. But
exactly.
if it's standard procedure, principle, like I do not take leftovers home, there's something wrong with that person.
I would just say I'll take a box for her shit.
Or just say, put it in a box and take it home. Your fucking husband can eat it. I'm sure he's not that way.
I was in Philly for work maybe, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. And every night we handed out leftovers to the homeless. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like a homeless person that will take food.
Yeah.
'Cause
they're hard to find, though.
They are, because they just
Yeah.
want
I
drug
don't want
money.
that shit.
Yeah.
Steak and asparagus. Shit.
No, I love a homeless person that'll
You gonna
take
drink
food.
all one of these, Ely? Should I open my own, or should I just finish yours?
No, I'll take a sip of yours.
Did you we had Boo Boo Mysterio's drink last week.
Okay.
I think you would like it.
Cool.
Like it won a deli. I would like to see if it really would have won a deli.
Do we have it here?
There should be one unless Stu drank them all.
Which one was it?
The Shady Spot by Susquehanna Brewing Company.
Any
It
more
was-
leads on who this shitbird is?
I don't know who he is. I can't figure it out. I've run every idea that I've had and tried every angle that I can think of, and I can't find him. I'm thinking what we need to do is just have a party and invite like 3 listeners that we don't know who they are,
Yeah.
and then have him show up on that night or her, and then do a lineup and do like ask a bunch of questions, and see if we can figure out which one it is, with the big reveal at the end. I think that
I'm
would be
confused.
fun. So we just put an APB out for listeners that we don't know who you are. We'll get 3 of them will reach out to us, right? We go, okay, come on in. And then have Boo Boo show up that night. And then we just got to count on the fact that he'll actually show up or she'll
Right.
actually show up. And then we interview those.
You want to give me a cup? We can just split this thing, or I'll just take a swaller. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to want the whole thing.
All right, I'll read it. So what we have here is, while y'all are drinking, is the Licking Hole Creek Mango Habanero Brown Ale. It's a 6.5%, and it comes in 1-pint cans. This bold, beautiful, sticky, and sweet brown ale starts off with hundreds of pounds of our estate-grown barley, then is layered with caramel and chocolate malts for that classic American brown ale taste. We subsequently treated her to an unruly amount of mango puree
Did
and
you?
a profusion of spicy but outright flavorful habanero peppers.
Really?
So pop open a can, feel it tilt, and start to slide as you allow your senses to experience
What
this
the
malty,
hell?
sweet, spicy, and tropical treat.
Well, based on the description, I am fired up. I think that's going to be an awesome beer.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
sounds like a party.
I mean, I love mango. I love habanero.
Love spice.
I'm looking forward to a spicy yet fruity beer. The nice malty backbone. Sounds like a little bit of chocolate in there. I'm super excited. Couldn't be more pumped. When I saw this, I thought, wow, it's a winning combination.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of brown ales,
No, we do not.
so kind of cool to have that.
Yeah. So, I think I have an opinion.
I haven't even tasted it yet.
Yeah, so I can. Well, do you want me to? I don't want to. Why don't you
Yeah,
go
well-
ahead and take a sip, and then you'll see where you stand before I start
Doesn't have much
talking.
on the nose.
Yep. What are you thinking there? You got all right. Now you know if it's winning or not winning already, right? So I can go ahead and start talking. I won't ruin your. So there's no denying this thing is a brown ale, or a porter. It's certainly in the ballpark of a porter. As far as brown ales go, I'm not a big brown ale fan, so it didn't have that going for it, but it had the mango and the habanero, so I was super excited about it. Now that I've had about four sips,
Is this peak coldness or no?
I don't know. I definitely left it in my car while I was at the gym, so it got put in the fridge at 2.
Okay.
So it should be cold.
I mean, it's
2 to
cold.
2 to 8, 6 hours. That should be cold enough.
You would think. This beer, I'm now getting the spice now that I've had my 5th sip. There's definitely a little bit of spice there hanging out in the back of my mouth. Not enough to correct the fucking horrible beer that it's put into for me. I taste 0 mango. I get a smell of dirt coming from it that I can't quite identify. It's like a salty, dirty smell I don't like very much. Kind of hate this beer. Like I said, don't like brown ales going in. There's not enough mango, not enough spice. That beer sucks.
It's kind of mango on fire on the
Yeah,
label
that's the
here.
best part. I still would say I like the marketing. That's a 1.5 for me. Screw that beer. So yeah, didn't like it.
I would say, to me, this beer doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste. It's very it's smooth, but it doesn't have any.
It's smooth.
It
yeah.
doesn't have any big flavors in it. No mango. The tiniest amount of heat, like you said. I'm on sip 4 or 5. I'm finally starting to get a little bit of heat,
I don't even want to finish it.
but not really. Yeah, I wouldn't give this any more than a 1.5.
Licking Hole Creek Mango Habanero Brown Ale. Trash, at least from you and
second that.
But what does Ely think? On today's,
I don't-
does everyone like it?
I don't mind it that much.
Okay.
See, I taste the spice in the habanero.
All right.
What about the mango?
That's thank you. I taste both of them.
Might just be our palates.
I think it's. I don't like the smell is horrendous though.
What is that?
I don't
right?
know.
It's like salty dirt.
It's weird.
I don't like
the smell
that at all.
sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an amazing beer, but I don't think it's horrible. I mean, I definitely when I drank it, I was like, "Oh, that's a mango habanero beer." There
Weird.
wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't taste any mango at all.
Really.
Not even an iota. Like nothing.
I didn't taste any fruit. Any.
Yeah, I
fruitiness.
definitely did. So yeah, I'd give it a. I don't know. Probably give it a 3.
Okay. So there we go. A 1.5, a 1.5, and a 3. So this thing's netting out 2 1/4.
High score
2.
for a for Mealy.
Yeah, which is strange. The highest score.
Now
came from-
pop the beer from
Yeah, I
last
do
week.
want you to try that.
Oh, this
if you
is
don't-
Boo Boo's beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like you to try
It got 4s from all 3 of us.
Boo Boo's beer.
Is amazing.
See?
Holy
Right?
fuck.
Like, that beer is stupid good.
Remind everybody again what it
Dude.
is, Brendan.
It's the Susquehanna Brewing Company Shady Spot. And it's like,
is this like available around here?
they have some in Northern Virginia that I found. Like, we immediately started doing research on that. So I actually have a meeting in Pennsylvania in like 3 weeks, and I'm just hoping it still exists by the time I get up there because I'll buy it all. Like, isn't that stupid?
That's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that is, it's not too sweet, but it's certainly a sweet, refreshing beer. That is about perfect.
Dude, this could be the highest score I'd ever give a beer.
Dude, we all literally all around were like 4, 4.5, 4s. Like,
Yeah.
it was, and that's why I was like, you got to try this, because if there was ever a deli that I was like positive that you were going to dig on,
Yeah.
it was that. Like, especially because you've been in Natter Day country.
I have been.
That's
Natter-
everything Natter Day. Like, that's a really
Yes.
good Natter Day.
Right. I'll take this.
Yes, exactly. That's a tasty
Official
ass beer.
deli.
Yeah, so now we got to mark it up. So 2 weeks in a row, we had to run that beer back. I had to basically pry that beer out of Stu's hand to save one for you, because he was digging them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, that's a tasty beer.
Speaking of Natter Days, have y'all seen or heard that Natural Light will challenge the White Claws and Trulies of the world with their own hard seltzer, and it's an 8%, not the 5%.
I
They're
think-
going big.
I think they're making a fatal error with theirs. I noticed that there is no mention of calories or carbs.
Really?
Everyone else is doing these seltzers and trying to like outdo the other when it comes to lower calorie,
It's
lower
like a
carb.
healthy version.
Yeah, they're not going for that. They're like, "Oh no, ours is going to be really cheap." And that's really what they're banking on, and it's going to be very potent. So it's higher alcohol, lower cost, but it's going to be laden with sugar.
Probably. You see the names of them, though.
The names
Stu would love it.
are awesome. In particular, the Catalina one.
The Catalina Lime Mixer.
Come on.
When
That's awesome.
When
That's the
cherry and lime
greatest.
become best friends, and then the Aloha
I mean, it's
Beaches.
just straight up Step
When
Brothers. I
Mango
love it.
and Peach go beach mode.
Yeah, Aloha Beaches. Like, I'll give them that. They're doing the marketing right.
Yeah.
But
Like
I-
the Natter Days thing.
I think a lot of people drink those seltzers because they're low calorie.
Now, I like those seltzers, but I like them kind of like how I like a Corona Lime, like when I'm at the beach. Like, I'd like the seltzers when I'm at the pool or something. I went out with some friends Friday night, and I saw just straight up dudes drinking them at the bar.
Oh yeah, it's gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Those White
reached-
Claws are getting consumed at the bar.
So I just had for my first time this past weekend Wild Basin, and that's the one that Oscar Blues makes. And Oscar Blues is well known for being the brewery that makes Dale's Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Wild Basins have 1 gram of carbs, so they're lower, 100 calories, and I think the flavors, at least the 2 that I've tried, are better than anything White Claw or Truly's putting out.
Wow.
in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, someone the other day, I think it was Lee and Jay, were saying that we should do a seltzer tasting,
Yeah.
which I think we've gotten to that point. Like, there's so many seltzers out there now that we really should. It'd be Truly, White Claw. I would put Wild Basin in the mix. Everybody makes a lime, so you just go with the lime. And
y'all see that meme that says Beastie Boys didn't fight for y'all's right to party, for y'all to be drinking White Claws?
Yes. That killed me when I saw it.
Yeah.
And everybody's drinking them now.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find myself drinking seltzers like when I'm not drinking.
Right.
You know, I'm just gonna have 3
I
of
drink
these.
them when I want to be refreshed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love them. Fill a glass with ice and pour it
Yeah.
over that. It's like money. Even better than just drinking out of a can. Pour it over rocks.
I've never poured it over the rocks. I got to try that.
It's awesome.
That sounds all right. But I'm
like
a Wild
Ely
Basin
said,
guy.
it's very refreshing.
Speaking of, there's a boatload of seltzers in the
Cool.
non-alcoholic seltzers.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you need to hydrate.
Have y'all
Anybody
seen?
want more of this?
We'll pass it
I'll
around.
take a hit off
Have
that.
y'all seen? I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it, and I've seen some of it where they're going with the facial
Oh, shit.
recognition stuff, where they can like change people's faces on videos now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they can manipulate the voice. They can do everything.
Dude, a friend of mine sent me one today, and I'll have to see if I can post it on our Facebook page. It's an old video of Bill Hader on the David Letterman show.
Okay.
And he's telling a story about meeting Tom Cruise, and he does like impressions of like Tom Cruise and Seth Rogen. And as he's doing them, his face morphs into the guys, and it
Oh, that's
is
crazy.
creepy because you don't see it morphing. He just starts talking in his Tom Cruise voice, and it's Tom Cruise's face on
Wow.
Bill Hader's body. And I was like, if you showed that to someone who wasn't in the right state of mind, their head might explode.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what they're getting at with these voices and
Well, and the voice manipulation's really sketchy because you can make it sound like anyone's saying anything.
Right.
You can make people.
Well, that's
say
what
some
Rogan was saying,
horrible
like,
stuff.
guys like us, even that we've said enough.
Yeah, they have all of our stuff. They could actually go and create that because you only need a certain amount of hours of tape of somebody,
Yep.
and then you can make any combination of sounds to make any word.
Yeah,
And AI can do it very quickly. You're like, I just want to say this word. And they're like, oh, yeah, you just need these syllables. Boom. And then there it is. That's your voice.
That's crazy.
and they can, and now with the video, they can make it look like you're
Yeah, like politicians are going to have a tough time in the future because there's going to be videos of them sitting in some room saying shit that they never said that's going to be completely off
Well,
the
the thing
wall.
is even this goes to that whole Google aspect, we've talked about before, and this is even more like we're getting to a point, or we're already there, to where you have no way of knowing what's true.
no
way.
not at all.
There's no way to know what's true. Like 20 years ago, you could look at an encyclopedia and you could trust it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You have no way of knowing what's true right now. Like,
That's why the flat earth thing gets so much momentum because, look, there's some really good points out there. If you really were like brought into this world and weren't taught anything, and you were like, which one do you believe? And shown a video about the earth being round and a video about the earth being flat.
Well,
Good
and
luck.
some of
It's a
them,
judgment call.
some of them you see on YouTube too, where they like have high production quality, and like it doesn't look like some crazy kid in the basement of his mom's house. Like it looks like professionally shot stuff.
think about the power. The most powerful person on the planet is the person that can steer search results
Yep.
to Google
Yeah.
based on what people type.
Yep.
Oh,
That
is-
person
that's
is the most
Google.
powerful person on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the CEO of Alphabet.
Yeah, because
that's-
you can have the entire population believe
Yep.
anything that you want. Anything.
Because I could Google your name and good things could come up or bad things could come
Right.
up, depending on what algorithm I wanted.
Well, that
the
was
world
always
would
the
know.
problem with Yelp, right? Is Yelp would force they would force these restaurants to be like, look, either pay us or we're going to put these at the top,
Right.
Yeah.
and then they would put the shitty reviews at top, and then people would be like, oh, screw that restaurant, and it would fold because
Yeah.
they controlled the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's just in one narrow scope. That's just restaurants.
Yeah.
Google results can change everything. And this is why it's so critical that we make sure that Facebook isn't leaning in any one direction because they just start to say, nope, censored. We're going to promote this. We're going to keep this out there. We're going to put this in people's feeds. They can literally change.
Yeah.
But
How
it makes
people
sense
vote,
to
what they
think,
think.
like, why do we expect our news sources to give us the truth 100% of the time when their livelihood is determined by the number of clicks and views they get? So, of course, they're going to skew things one direction or write salacious headlines that aren't necessarily the truth.
Which gets to the ad world being the modern day devil. I mean, I feel like that is the biggest problem with the majority of what we're dealing with in society, because we've turned a lot of why we're shitty people is because we see much shitty behavior, and because people are incentivized by the ad revenue on the clicks, and it doesn't matter about reporting anything that, you know, as long as you can understand what makes people want to click on something, outrageousness is what it is. That's all you need to do.
It's unfortunately very true. The journalist writes the article, then there's some guy who decides what the headline is.
Yeah.
And the headline can steer the narrative of the whole thing, because most people don't even read the articles these days.
Yeah.
So even a true journalist can get buried beneath a bad headline where they put a salacious moment kind of out of context, and people go, "Did you hear that shit?"
Yeah.
And it's like, now that's fact.
Right.
And that's exactly what you're saying. It's all about getting the clicks. And so they know if they write the headline this way,
right,
then they'll get more clicks.
Yeah.
Just the way to do it. But then on top of that, in the ad world that I live in, I can find anyone with any point of view or any interest in something and put a message in front of them. Well, I can also do the same with people with the other point of view and get them to the point where they start to think, shit, okay. Like in a very innocent way, I can make you think Audis are better than BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a very negative way, I can change your whole belief about a topic.
It's like, you know, prosecutors and defenders, they can pay a professional expert to come in and tell you things happen this way or things happen that way. And depending on who got contacted first, it could be the same guy for either side. I mean, it's...
Yeah, gone are the days of Marissa Tomei knowing about posi traction.
Right.
Being able to save those utes. You know? She was the expert.
Yeah.
We do just Google shit left and right and just assume that what comes up is factual.
Because if you can find another one that like backs it up, then you're like, all right, that's good.
And I've found a few times where I'm like looking for certain bits of data, and it happens that my search, like if you're looking for, like if you're just looking for a certain kind of data, you can, and if that topic that you're talking about is trending, you can. You're like, no, I'm looking to find this kind of data.
Yeah.
But instead, there's 5 to 6 articles of, you know, whatever slant you want towards what's talking about. And I mean, I don't know.
And I have to believe your results are skewed based on other things you've searched for. Like this is probably, I don't know.
I would disagree with that.
Well, I don't know that they're doing this yet, but the technology is there.
Yeah, it makes
sense. That, say you're always searching for Ford parts.
That only makes sense for selling something, not for politics.
No, but I'm thinking out loud, right? Like I believe you could very easily start to use that to your advantage to say, if there's this person always searches for Ford parts, right?
Like it turns into an echo
chamber. And now you have a question that you ask Google about transmission fluid in a V8. It could just assume that it should start putting Ford results up higher. And this is a very innocent way to look at it, but you see what I'm saying? Like
I do, but I see the sales aspect of Google and the pushing their agenda aspect of Google, two separate things, is what I see.
But they have the data.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If they choose to leverage it, you can really start to create a situation.
But if they want someone to believe a certain something, they don't give a fuck about what you search.
Well, no, because now I just want to find...
They're just going to put the top 5 items.
Yeah, that's the more sinister
10,
way.
Right.
But it is funny to me when like you search something and you click on one of the first ones and it's a website that you've never even heard of. And you're like, is this a valid source for the info I'm looking for?
I'm curious as to how many people travel to the second and third page of Google search.
Yeah.
I do oftentimes when I have a very specific search because I want to see if something's going to drill down a little closer.
Google, not Pornhub.
We should make that a meme.
Oh, Pornhub. I literally am always in the second.
We should start a movement that's called Page 3.
Yeah.
And everybody you just immediately jump to Page 3.
Yeah.
You ignore one.
I bet you quickly start getting disappointed in your results and go, fuck this movement. I'm back. I'm going back to Page 1. It's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology's there. They can manipulate us in any way they want.
Yeah, there's a good documentary on that. Just came out on Netflix not too long ago. It's pretty interesting about gathering all that data in the election and how they're just basically just doing exactly that, tracking you, your purchase, your pictures, everything's being compiled into just, you, knowing everything about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go back and listen to conversations that Google has recorded just around you that your phone has. Like, you can actually go in and listen to yourself talk about things.
Right.
And they say that there's people at Google they listen to people having sex, they listen to people doing all these things.
Right.
It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, and they say they're not doing anything with it, but that's a lot of power, man.
Absolutely.
It'd be very difficult to not wield the power on some level, and it always starts with something that seems insignificant.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, come on. I like blue better. Let's put results with blue.
Right.
Let's move them to the top. And then when you see it works, it's like, huh, we really did manipulate that. Look at this.
Right.
Scary.
It's coming.
What do? Do you just ride the wave, or do you try to be the...
Unfortunately, if you want to try to be the contrarian that saves the world...
I don't know about saves the world, but just saves yourself.
Oh, you can try to save yourself, and I think that's actually doable still in this day and age.
Yeah.
You got to completely get off the grid, and you can't carry a phone. I mean, it's like your prospector neighbor. He's closer to being saved than you are.
I think the only thing about that would become, the email aspect. I feel like that's the only thing. And the camera.
Well, you can't have any email. You can't have a computer. You can't have a phone. If you want to try,
that's my point. No,
yeah.
You can have a phone. You can flip a razor.
You're gonna have to change that phone out every month.
Yeah.
You need burners. I mean, that's your only hope. And if you enter so much as any email into that phone, like to an app, and you put that app on every phone, you're followed forever.
Right.
Because that's the tie-in. You tie together the email address to everything. That's like the key.
I was listening to a true crime podcast a couple months ago, and this guy killed his girlfriend and killed himself, and they got access to his phone, and they could literally trace with Google, because he had a Google phone. They traced. They knew it. They had a timeline of everywhere he went.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually look at it for fun at the end of the month because I travel so much. I like to look back at my Google timeline and go, damn, look at all these places I've been.
They were like, at 11:47, he's traveling up Route 5 and stopped at this point for 10 minutes and then got back in his car and you're like, holy shit. Like, y'all heard about phone pinging and stuff like that, but to know they could track your every movement, I mean, that is crazy.
I saw a special where a guy didn't even activate it, and it started doing that.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I remember
the guy
hearing
never
something
actively did it, and
Never
still,
turned anything on, never even put an email address to it, and it still tracked everything that he was doing.
I mean, that's all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
It's that sinister.
You hit the accept button on your
You hit
terms
the
of
accept
service?
buttons once, it's over.
Yeah.
Because that's what I sell. I mean, that's my job, and that's all I need is you to accept terms and conditions just once,
Right.
and that opens up your
No
entire phone.
takebacks.
Yeah, you can't. That opens up everything.
But what happens if you don't accept? You can't use the phone?
Well, yeah, they won't let you use the app. So if there's ever an app that you want and there's an email address tied to that app, I now can follow you across every computer that email address has been on.
Right.
I mean, it's wild. It's pretty intense. And yet we don't even know more than 3 listeners' email addresses.
Yeah.
I mean, we are so far out of the loop
We
over
need to
here.
tighten up. Send us all your personal information.
Yeah.
That actually would
Let
be
us
a
know
good
if you got a
starting point.
Zimbabwe prince looking for a check.
Because we got checks.
Yeah.
We got bank accounts we want to just hand out. No, wait, that's not how
Hold
that
on,
goes.
wait, what?
No, we want his bank account.
Yeah.
No. Let's wrap this one up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
We got to record another one.
We got to run it back.
We're going to shut this one down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's actually a pretty good point. We could use your email address because what we do with data is really not much. We're pretty gentle with it. In fact, we don't even have a newsletter. Just send us your email addresses so we have them. You know where you send them? InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com.
That's right.
It's pretty simple
Send
stuff.
us a topic while you're at it.
You should order sunglasses from Nectar Sunglasses. Drop ITPH in the coupon code. You'll get 30% off. And then they'll have your email address. And then they can follow you around the world. But then you can help.
I mean, their average glasses are $35 to $45, and you're getting 30% off of it. It's ridiculous. I can't recommend them enough.
It's a hell of a deal. Hell of a deal. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe,
Rate,
review,
review,
should
all
rate,
these
review,
things.
all the things that you hear at the end of every single podcast that you're doing. How about you do that shit for us? That'd be super. Be a good start.
Well, if you rate and review us on the app, on the iTunes app, it really helps get us out there to other people. So, and that literally costs you nothing but 2 minutes of your time. So please do that. Can't say that enough.
Good God. Sorry. I'm trying to produce over here. And if you haven't had a chance to reach out to us on the Facebook page, please do so and like us. We're getting up there in likes. That's actually, I don't know that helps, but we're
Doesn't
getting
hurt.
there. Yeah. So keep sending us your likes and send us any topics you want us to talk about. They certainly come in handy when you're trying to run a double. So we could use
For
the
sure.
topics. So no, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
That was a really good podcast.